to The Force Always. My name is Dave Zammit, aka Diz. It is now 2025. It is now time to review episode 6 of the Skeleton Crew live action series on Disney Plus. Comes out every Wednesday, roughly about 1 p.m. here in Melbourne, Australia. Different time zones, but at the same time around the world, but in different time zones, obviously. Just to let you also know, last week's episode was a very good episode. I didn't review that. I had another review to attend to, and I did that. That was the Better Man movie. But let's get straight into the Skeleton Crew episode 6. Straight off the bat, this is an 8 out of 10. It's consistent and a higher rate than other Star Wars stuff of recent times. Doesn't make it better to me, even though it has a high rating. It just is hitting the notes in a better way, if that makes sense to all you. The interaction with the kids in the Skeleton Crew is really good. The acting ability from these kids is really good. Judd Law, this guy here, who's the main, you would say, celebrity or main, maybe villain in this particular series, is really good. In this particular episode, directed by Bryce Dallas Howard, a different type of Star Wars episode compared to her last Star Wars episode, which was in the Mandalorian. Very different. That one was actually very organic. This one is just very down the line. It was similar to last week's episode of Skeleton Crew in its pacing, slow pacing, but the slow pacing still worked. You've just got to really be in tune with it. It had really great ideas connecting the story together in this particular episode and other episodes, but this particular episode, how they fell down the shaft, out came through the tube, connecting to these crab-like trash collectors, but some of them ended up, being set up with a big crab mechanic sort of thing, monster. It connected well. I think the only issue in this particular episode, the actual scenery is so good. It's amazing. It's not just looks good. It fits right. It's working every single time. That use future feel, which we all know Star Wars to be, is really having a difference and familiarities in this. Really, really good. There was a couple points where you could see the effects be a little bit cheapened with green screen / movement of some spacecraft. Some very minute. It still is worth an 8 out of 10 because I think it's a great episode, but it's the type of episode I have rewatched, but just to get the facts right in the story, to sort of have things connect, why, when, how. That's it. It's working really well. We've got 2 more episodes to the end of the season. And that's it with the Skeleton Crew. And so that's my review for the Skeleton Crew episode 6. It's on Disney Plus. Check it out. To other Star Wars news, as I said about a couple of weeks ago, if you're going to look for something on YouTube or anything Star Wars, check out Skywalker Stories. There is just amazing interaction. Really, really simple. Like, it's just one character, another character speaking with each other in a political or a reminiscent or, educational sort of storyline way. But they're so good. It's unbelievable. The ones that I saw recently, whether they're new or older, I don't know if this has been uploaded recently or old or whatever it is, was with Luke Skywalker. With Anakin Skywalker and Princess Leia having interaction. It interesting. Like just that possibility of coming together when it was never shown in the actual series, the episodic saga. There's even one with Han Solo and Princess Leia. It's not canon, but they are just really, really good. I mean, just the depth of, really simplicity and slow moving dialogue. Sometimes it always I agree with, but it's just really, really good. Skywalker Stories on YouTube. Check it out. It's really, really good. And to more Star Wars news, Disney have admitted The Acolyte was not successful for a second season because obviously the numbers dropped badly. In my humble opinion, which will be not favorable to a lot of Star Wars fans, but I didn't think The Acolyte was that bad. Obviously there's everything Star Wars puts out, there's always something good and bad in it. It's almost what the story omits to everyone, and it also comes off. It's always good and bad. Like even the original A New Hope, Star Wars, A New Hope. There's something good and bad in the whole thing. I won't get right into that now, but Star Wars as a whole is just an interesting canvas of story ideas with a great audible and great visual experience that comes along with it. Is why I love it so much. The other part, I think it's a real psychological drama, in my opinion. But The Acolyte, yes, it maybe missed in a couple of points and hit, but whether you think it's woke or not woke or whatever you want to think this is, all I'm going to say is that you've got to think of any movie or anything you do artistically as you've got all these colors, you've got a paintbrush, and you've got a canvas or maybe a piece of paper. And you pick and choose those colors with different shapes, different sizes, different intensity on the canvas or the piece of paper, and you create the art. You may choose within yourself because of, or maybe black cells, or maybe red cells, or maybe yellow cells better. Let's get more of that, or give cells in a sort of happy tone, or a sad tone, or a bad tone, whatever it is. If that's your artistic choice, whether it has a political or another agenda to it, then the artist has the right to just give it off like that. Doesn't mean everyone's going to like it, which is obvious. But, personally, I think any person creating a Star Wars film has their version of events. I think all of us who are watching Star Wars need to stop going behind the camera and thinking how this should have been done better, and just accept what is given to us as what it is from the actual heads of Lucasfilm or Star Wars or whatever you want to call it, and let the story just take you on a journey. I mean, we may not agree with it, we may disagree with it, but it's just, that's the story. Good and bad will be found in everything. But anyway, that's my little piece right there. But actually, just before looking at this in the background, I've got to say, this look is very hip-hop these days. The amount of bling and the size of bling necklaces on hip-hop, especially in New York, LA, boy, he's measured up. Almost a reflection of my era, which is Mr. T. But anyway, that's a side note. Anyway, until next week, my friends, we should be having episode 7 of The Skeleton Crew. Until then, my friends, keep rocking.